All right, and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us here in this best of three between TeamSpirit and aggressive mode. As we're on to game 3. TeamSpirit taking game 1, aggressive mode taking a 20-minute game 2, and we'll see who will take game 3 here back into the Clockwork Shadow Fiend for aggressive mode as TeamSpirit. They go Enchantress again here for Misha. Pango should be played by Nangrata, and then the Rubik Immersion should be what is up here for the side of TeamSpirit. And, we'll take a look at where they're going to go with this draft for the side of aggressive mode. Is they're already going to, from what we've seen in the first game, go with the Shadow Fiend, getting and using those denies on the cogs early from the Clockwork. Although, I know, T, you said
it's tried
in the
and
previous game.
It's tried and tested, man. It's tried and tested. Like I was on the fence because I know that there's such a prominence with the raids build, right? You have the laning impact, but I guess for these lads, it's like if you just get the 12 souls and you just play the old style Shadow Fiend, you're still gonna have the same impact. The only difference is you're not gonna have that aggression onto the mid lane. So I think there's still potential versatility in leveling it or not, depending on the matchup. So I think in this lane, you probably will see the Cogs again because he can very easily punish the Kunkka because of the discrepancy. Like Shadow Fiend damage early on is very weak. Kunkka's pretty high. So if the Shadow Fiend can bridge that gap, then he can actually play against the Kunkka outside of just here's a triple raise. Oh look, you've got some braces now. Doesn't really do much. So yeah, I think again the Cogs and the Souls build probably will be pretty good again this game.
5 seconds remaining.
So we'll see how they can go off with that. And they've got the Winter Wyvern, which could still be the 4. I mean, it could be an offlane Clockwork coming in for aggressive mode as they go into the Bloodseeker. So Bloodseeker here in the safe lane. Shadow Fiend mid. Unless all of a sudden we get some tier 3 Chinese style Dota and Shadow Fiend's in the safe lane and Bloodseeker's mid.
Oh, this is CIS if I've seen it.
But this seems
Bloodseeker,
very run at you right now from aggressive mode. Very to the name aggressive.
And you know why it's pretty decent still? Is because the Shadow Fiend, because of his aura at 15, it allows you to hit structures. Most heroes suddenly can melt through it, right? And now you have Bloodseeker, he lacks building damage, but he hard counters this Pangolier. So now you got the idea that you can take a really strong team fight because you have this hard counter, and also after it you have the ability just to go high ground or any objective because of the Shadow Fiend.
10 seconds remaining.
So they ban out that Legion, thinking that they're going to go to an offlaner, and we'll see what the potential plan is. Is again, you could go Clockwork as well as the Winter Wyvern in the 3 and then the 4. So you could pick up a 5. You could keep Winter Wyvern 5, pick up another 4, but I mean, they definitely did like the Clockwork in the 4, so I wouldn't be surprised if of course, they are looking for a 3 and it ends up being the Mars. So it's not a surprise. It's obviously, there is potential for other picks. That's why I bring them up, but it's usually going to be the 4 Clockwork and 5 Winter Wyvern in that situation.
Yeah, in this situation, this situation is just a casual Wyvern, just slapping on in there, lives life. But yeah, they also, I think we actually haven't mentioned as well that you got the curse for the Pangolier, you got the Bloodseeker Rupture for the Pangolier. You've also got now this Initiate. Like, again, you have the classic Rubik v Clockwork. The Rubik can always telekinesis the clock out the cogs. But I think in general, aggressive mode, they're going to hit the same timing they did in the last game, where it's leave laning phase, and they're going to be able to really hammer down into you. And I think TeamSpirit, if you look at their heroes right now, you got a little bit of wave clear from Pangolier, a little bit from Kunkka. But you don't, like, Kunkka's your front line, but you don't have that person to win you the game. How do you turn a team fight into an objective? Where's your big control? Like, outside of X Torrent and the Pangolier, like, kind of a little bit squishy, a lot of holes left in your draft. And I think, like, for example, I think they need to go for a big win condition carry, maybe even like a Medusa. Just slap it in the safe lane, exist within the game, go for the late game, could work out pretty well. Morphling instead, all right, yeah. This is their win condition. They needed something to get themselves into the late game, and Morphling is that one of those heroes. I think the main issue there simply is if it is under pressure, it doesn't play well when on the back foot. So we could see another aggressive mode 20-minute game where it's just like go, get Roshan in the game.
The thing about this is, like, and I don't know if this plays into how they're going to play, but this game, at this point, you're relegated. Obviously, you want to keep yourself away from elimination. Losing into aggressive mode, giving them 2 points while you get 1, puts them only 1 point behind you. But with many games to play. So, how much is really at stake here for TeaSpirit? How willing are they to just kind of like go all out on this? Like, I know those seem like stupid questions, but I always think about it. Like, what's your mentality going into this game? Because you see yourself in a spot that, win or lose, we're relegated. That's it. Like, for aggressive mode, they have a chance at not getting relegated.
No, but the main thing for them is if they can win, they can at least get to the point where they're fighting to try and cling on to stay in, right? Because there's also automatic relegation and then the relegation bracket. So if they can maybe get 5th, 6th, because they're currently poised in 6th position. Again, the main issue here is aggressive mode below them. They've still got many games to play compared to TeamSpirit, who are nearing the end of their run. So TeamSpirit, if they can at least take a game off if TeamSpirit can take the game off aggressive mode now, try and get a little bit of a bigger lead, and then hope that aggressive mode lose a couple games, they can at least keep themselves in contention to play for the relegation match. But again, I think one of the biggest issues I see with people when they look at teams that they're already knocked out, yada yada, they probably won't play. But the biggest gripe I have is the assumption that when teams are knocked out, they won't perform, or when teams are already qualified, they won't perform. One of the biggest things is teams will always try and perform and win the game. The only time that you don't perform that well is if, let's say, you've already secured 1st place in your group, and then you start doing some meme picks. But normally, when you're already knocked out of a tournament or close to elimination, you'll always try your hardest, because you don't want to be remembered as the team that kind of went 0-12, right? Or the team that just kind of petered out of a tournament, just kind of a laughing stock. So no one wants to lose. That was a long rant. I do apologize.
No, I'm just watching Sunlight get, up to 9 souls right now.
Oh, that's less than 12. He did get 12 last time. Maybe he's going to do one last one.
He's going to get one more
here.
here. Yeah, that's what they did last time.
Yeah, all right. Nice.
And they usually
there you
ping.
go, bada bing, bada bing. Oh.
Easy does it. And then,
look at that. He's now on 70 damage. Oh, no. He just tapped out his fairy fire. 68 damage. Whoops. How's some... Oh, UK math. Lol.
Still better than NA.
True. I'm not going to fight you on that one.
I'm surprised at the lack of aggression looking for this bounty rune here, but they'll just give it up to aggressive mode. And, I guess both sides are conceding their runes. So, 2 apiece, and then we'll take a look. Again, I feel like something we haven't been seeing too much right now is Immersion's mobility. I feel like he's been a lot more stationary overall in lanes, and it's just not the immersion that I feel we've seen in this tournament or in the past.
Yeah, well, I think that still boils down to the meta and how because you have all these couriers, you have the ability to farm out additional regen. It's hard for an offlaner to feel strong in his lane unless he has some insane level advantage. So naturally, you keep heroes in the lanes longer, which means, again, like you said, you can't really be that active.
Definitely does not feel fun for him right now. And actually, on Misha, we'll see Impetus instead of Enchant level 1. So that's a difference between the enchantresses we've been seeing. Thinking about that Enchant, potentially chasing maybe the Clockwork, especially when he's just got cogs. But for now, it's just the damage output of the Impetus. So not even really that much. 6-second cooldown is not something that feels too amazing. And now Battery Assault, they've got level 2. They're under the tower and approaching this. And I mean, Skylark, he does have a spear to throw. They'll have Velor taking a lot of damage under the tower. He pops the salve, and the second tower shot ends his life.
Luckily not a first blood, though, on the side of aggressive mode. Dying to the tower is a little bit... Even though it's not great, it's like, alright, cool. We didn't give away a first blood to Morphling. That would have been really bad. Especially that being the win condition on the side of TeamSpirit.
Definitely seems like a bit of an issue there. We take a look over as, Velor's back over. Has Battery Assault once again, as well as the cogs. They'll look over at the Morphling, who didn't morph in his strength a little bit before he got attacked, but Skylark taking a lot of damage, waveform forward, and it's quick 2 kills
and bot
here.
lane as well. Meanwhile, a little bit of aggression as well. Okay, not beat. All right. It felt like a lot more things were going to occur, but then it just kind of the blood ride didn't hit. So I know there's aggression coming out from both lanes. I think Morphling Edge is going to be a pretty solid lane overall. Got a lot of chip damage coming out, and you've got that creep we spoke about in the last game. It's just that early point in the enchant, of course. Get that creep and off we go. And then also the other thing as well, get an extra creep, keep it next to you. You're not
Spear
gonna be dying.
hits. Misha.
Yeah. To
Ends
that
up
though,
dead.
if he had a creep, maybe to tank a couple of those banner assaults, and maybe it's different. But yeah, it doesn't always have a creep next to him, unfortunately.
That was
Too early in the
also,
game for that.
I think, on the edge of where a spear can hit.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
felt
it was a
like that
long one.
was as far as it can go, and maybe Misha survives that if it doesn't land, but unfortunately, it just gets there, and now that tree is gone, so that same spot, you're not in as much danger anymore if that spear's thrown from the same place. We'll see. Again, we'll see what creeps he ends up taking. What's he gonna go for at level 3? Are we gonna see an early 1/1/1 build from this Enchantress?
I don't think you go for early points in Hill, personally. Maybe you do just to enable the Morphling, but the Rocket Flare to cancel the Salve. He has a second one, though. Round 2.
Did that come in because they definitely had vision of him, so just to throw that Rocket Flare.
Yeah.
Oh, that feels so bad. That's a quick waste of gold.
Horrendous.
It's trying
Yeah,
to
it happens,
pull
but-
again. Does kind of get it. Also enchants over this ghost. We'll see. I mean, I think if Misha's not too careful, we could see him get battery salted, cogged, and speared, and that could be a huge problem. Is level 3 tune the enchant, so no heal or anything. Take a look over towards bottom as Spartan. Look how far in he is. He's behind this tier 2
spent
tower to get this courier.
He spent about 35 seconds waiting for this. He saw it coming out, but didn't have Arctic burn off cooldown. It was on like 9 seconds. So he waited for it to return and then obviously killing himself just to get back to base quicker.
Is that worth it?
You're giving the Bloodseeker 3 levels. By 3, I mean like 3 as in uncontested levels. So I could see it being potentially fine. You did kill a courier, but it's hard to pressure out a Bloodseeker, especially when you're Pangolier, when you've got level advantage. So yeah, I think this is somewhat fine. The main issue I think is mid lane. You got this Shadow Fiend kind of getting X-torrented, just being bullied non-stop. But Clockwork already pre-mirroring the potential rotation of Enchantress, just making sure that his good old Shadow Fiend's protected.
Now, is this a game where Bloodseeker hits 6 and then is just off to the races, going for Rupture, trying to move around?
I think it's more you get your 6, you keep playing your lane, you may be forced to Pango to TP out, make the lane feel uncomfortable, and then when your Shadow Fiend's ready, that's when you go for the big go. Like, you don't try and force it too quickly, because 1 or 2 misplays and now you're suddenly a Bloodseeker behind, right? Like, Bloodseeker likes to play off tempo.
A lot of damage.
A lot of damage coming out of the Thug. On both heroes. Thug going low, Pango was low, then wandered up.
Bloodright, if it lands on Pango, could be an issue. Now they've got the silence. He doesn't have Swashbuckle, but the telekinesis comes through, and Splinter Blast again doing quite a bit, but they got the disarm onto the Bloodseeker. Arctic Burn stays alive now with the silence. Bloodright putting him low. He just can't catch up to the Pangolier in time. He'll be able to TP out. Immersion not as fortunate. They at least get a kill here.
This is what you wanted. You wanted to have, even though he's not 6, it's just aggression. Now the Pangolier's like, okay, he's about to hit 6. I've just TP'd out. So if I go back to lane, I cannot TP out again. So now he's like, I'm underleveled, unable to get to lane. I don't have TP to hard counter this Bloodseeker Rupture. So this next 60 seconds will be very close. And also top lane, Skylark also going very low as well, getting chased down by Misha. Probably dead. Of
Impetus?
course, dead.
And the
Let's not kid
Thunderclap.
ourselves. Yeah. He gone.
And they get that kill there onto the Mars, make it 4-2 in favor of TeaSpirit. Misha working with that enchant, working with that Hellbear. And the early impetus is a bit of extra damage, but yeah, just catching Skylark out like that. Was that just a rocket flare that killed the Morphling?
Yep.
Oh my.
He was ATH shifted into Agi, so. What a god. Clockwork God, 2 points in Flare. You don't expect it. Get slapped up. Also, Morphlings are. Like, to be fair, he's doing the world a justice, right? Why is Morphling allowed to be on no HP, Agi shift all the way down, Agi shift back up and suddenly have HP, right? Like, what? And then also, like, why is he allowed to have a Tango, ETN, like, surprise, full HP? Like, no.
He also.
Morphling players, bad.
Okay. I was gonna say for a second, it's Misha's boots. It's like this Morphling's got 2 pairs of boots right now.
But
Ooh,
sunlight in the mid, nearly going down. Get out of. Nice, okay. If he got close into the Tidebringer range, I've been kind of Kappa, but yeah. Ergon just being super aggressive right now, forcing this Shadow Fiend to run back to base. Multiple times, Shadow Fiend's gone back to base at this point. And look at Nongrata in the bot lane. This is aggression. Every single lane, just feeling it right now.
Yeah, Velor with the cogs.
Nongrata playing for the disarm.
Can they get the kill on an Nongrata though? Telekinesis lifts him up. The disarm. Oh. Tell me Nongrata doesn't die here. Oh,
he doesn't die here.
What a player.
He didn't even get the disarm. It was just the fact that just coming in with that telekinesis at the end is very big. Pangolier players, man. They make you, they really rile you up.
The RNG, they make you question who you're praying to.
Yeah, you get, obviously, he doesn't even have any points in Shield Crash, so he's just naturally tanky from his Buckler, his Wand, and he's always going to have 1 charges due to the spam of the Bloodseeker with the Blood Rage, and then the Wyvern, obviously both his spells. Like, so many 1 charges available for this Pangolier to feel a little bit tankier in a lane where he normally should feel squishy.
He's also got that headdress on the Rubik who's here. So getting that extra aura regen.
Is under attack.
Maybe that little bit of aura regen was what kept him alive. I feel like Dryacho, as much as TeaSpirit have been playing well, has not had the greatest of times over top. Ergon coming over, they've got the enchant. Skylark, he does have an arena to drop. The Centaur gets the stomp out. They'll have the boat come through. And now they've got the stun out on the Velor, and they might be able to get themselves a second. Under the tier 1 tower they go, and they will find it. Ergon gets one, Misha gets the other. And it's another 2 kills here for TeaSpirit, up 9-3. And this is some high pressure being put on by Spirit. The opposite team of who we thought was going to put on this pressure.
Yeah, I think it all boils down to the fact that this Kunka's had a good time mid, means he's open to move around the map, and like Kunka's a hero that wants to make moves. Shadow Fiend not so much, and same again for bottom. Like Bloodseeker should be able to get the early kills on the Pangolier, but it's the clutch plays coming out from TeaSpirit, getting that, like just playing around the rupture, playing around your extra like itemization, which means TeaSpirit are able to get that little edge. And I think the main thing as well is you don't actually have anyone that can really kill the Morphling. Like Mars Clock, it's a little bit like clunky of a lane. You're never really going to kill him unless you get some wild rocket flare that you already did. So TeaSpirit just coming away with the better laning phase, and I think just the better play overall. Just kind of putting aggressive mode on the back foot. 4K up at 10 minutes. It's a really good showing from the start of this game.
Yeah, 4K up, 10.5 minutes in. We take a look. Morphling, as much as I said his lane wasn't that fun, it just wasn't enjoyable. Nongrata hit with the rupture here. He tries to get out of the blood right. He will be successful in doing so. He's still dead to rights. But now Dryacho, with the Arctic Burn of his own, looks over, and there is a stolen rupture on that. The rupture up Thug. Can they even get the kill there? They can't, so they lose 2, potentially 3. Morphling in a bad way. Splinter Blast comes in, and, well, this is a problem here for the Morphling. Although they get the kill on SSA Spartan, now they're going to try and turn this around with the help of Ergon. Take out the Courier of Shadow Fiend, and, well, still, Morphling needing to try and run.
He has just enough mana to wave him to the high ground, but now he's still in an awkward spot. Like, what does he do now? There's still Arena up.
X.
Well, there's the Arena. Will he miss it? Hold. Oh.
Whoa. Now he's speared up. He's still not dead. I mean, this is... Requiem finally flies through, and he's locked into a Blood Right dead to rights. But, hello? Stolen Spear? Bloodseeker Thug? What a move by Immersion! Tell me they get that kill. Oh, man. That was... if he gets away from that, I would have been very impressed. But now they've got the X now on the Skylark. They get the kill there. This turns into more for TeaSpirit at the end of this than I really thought it would.
It's like continued aggression where TeaSpirit able to, they spend so much time with this Morphling, and then aggressive mode, they try and get him, and then eventually, boom, your team arrive, you get the kills.
That was on the edge, I feel like.
Yeah, it was very close.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Arcane power.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Take a look back over mid is get that kill on the Velwar. They're looking to get this tier 2 tower. Or tier 1 tower, excuse me. That is
Denied. Oh, nope.
Winter's Curse. Now we got the Splinter Blast. They're going to Immersion. Urgon now with the Rupture on him. Spear's not going to help his causes because the Raze comes in. They'll get the kill there. They look over at Misha. And Nangrata trying to come in. He'll use that Shield Crash to get at least one. Rolling Thunder comes through. They'll lose out on this Enchantress. It's a 3 for 3 so far. Doesn't look like it's going to be any more, though, for the Dire side. And take a look at the fight recap. It's a lot more gold going the way of aggressive mode.
You're a trusty man.
Yeah, this is what you kind of want. Like, both the cores are gaining gold from this fight, and the Morphling doesn't really get anything. The Pangolier is probably the biggest winner, obviously, on the Dire side. But I guess the important thing to note, though, is look at the objectives right now, the towers. You're losing towers and Radiant after every fight, but aggressive mode, they're not obtaining anything, right? They're losing a couple towers. They've not really done any moves, like they're 4 or 5k behind. Their fights are very reactionary. Like, they're not in the position right now where they can just start a fight, because if they do, they're going to probably get put into a choke point. And also, another thing that we haven't mentioned is Morphling against Wyvern. You become the Wyvern, and then you have this, your carry with insane attack range with the Arctic Burn still, so a little bit of synergy that we forgot to mention early on, but yeah, what makes this Morphling picker even a bit better.
And we'll just see how he executes it. Again, I feel like the theme of the day has just been execution. Can we execute well enough? And now Rupture comes in again. That's going to be onto the Pangolier. They've also got the Winter's Curse with the Splinter Blast. They're going to line up the Requiem. They won't even need it. They'll get the kill on Angrata as well as Misha. So a quick 1-2 punch there. Urgon needs to leave. Hookshot comes in, gets Immersion for a 3 stack. And well,
they did.
This is, again, aggressive mode, keeping on the pedal and really not missing beats.
That's where TeaSpirit, they're trying to achieve quite a lot on the map, where they're heavily committing to a tower, where they don't have a lot of tower damage, whilst their Morphling showing mid, their Kunkka's farming jungle, like, they're not in a position to truly take a fight here. And aggressive mode, the natural mechanism to implement when you're behind is rotate to this tower, defend the tower, take the fight. They probably don't have the right numbers here. And it's happening. Aggressive mode are able to do that. And even after this play, they're instantly moving across the map, going towards top. Like, okay, so we just took a fight down here. Let's try and take the aggression to them. Let's see them being greedy. And as you can see, look, TeaSpirit are being greedy. They're trying to play deep into the jungle, whilst Rubik is just trying to be cheeky and push out this top lane. Potentially a pick-off happening somewhere on the map.
If they could find Immersion, it certainly feels like it should be a very easy kill here for them, and Immersion will be spotted. The Telekinesis comes out, but they've got the Arctic Burn. Splinter Blast coming through. Immersion, oh, God's Rebuke, but he's still dead. Velwar gets the kill easily. It's really not too hard to get that kill when he's all by himself.
Yeah, I guess you're just trying to delay the potential push that was coming in. As you can see, TeaSpirit now, look at the minimap, the vision that they've got. They're really prioritizing this mid lane, want to really put a lot of focus here. Whilst aggressive mode, they have quite a good foothold in their jungle. 2 deep wards to the left and the right of the outpost, so wouldn't be surprised if they look to go for a fight here. Going the Blink Requiem.
And Requiem coming in.
See ya, buddy.
Northwing dead to rights. They'll also grab Misha. This game is falling apart at the seams for TeaSpirit. From what looked like really good early aggression and shutdown to seemingly, well, nothing. It feels like they are just getting beat at every aspect right now. Just not many answers overall. And this is.
Yeah, it's been some time since I've seen the Blink Yules build. Like, it's not so hot of a build anymore because of the changes to Yules. Like, you can't get directly underneath them, but I think players have realized that you can still get close enough to get like insta kills like that. So, not the biggest concern. It was one of those moments where when a patch comes out, everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's broken! You can't do that anymore. What is this?" And in reality, it's like, "Oh, I just need to do this instead of that," and it's the same thing. So, good to see the old builds back. It's so obnoxious though, to be fair, but you love seeing it now and again.
see how many times he's able to pull off that combo. He's going into the Boots of Travel, so he's looking to be everywhere. You know, as many places on the map as possible. They haven't taken many objectives. They did end up getting that tier 1 tower towards top finally. But since you talked about TeamSpirit getting those towers, like, they haven't found anything since, really.
Well, yeah, that's because they're kind of in an awkward position where they didn't have the vision to support the move they want to make.
Angolier.
On top,
Spear comes in, God's Rebuke, erases through, and Ungrata swashbuckles, but they've got the hookshot to follow it up to get the kill there. Sunlight gets another one, and now he's on a monster kill streak as he's sitting 8-0-2.
Straight away at the bottom side of the jungle.
Yeah, Bloodright comes
Aggression
in on
coming
Amisha.
out. Kunkka trying to go for the X.
Got it double damage. I don't know if he wants to go for this. There's the rupture. Boat coming through. Bloodright's there. Gets the silence. Moves away from the boat. Cogs are out, so that blocks him from going down the stairs. They got the kill onto the Morphling. They'll throw the spear. It doesn't attach to a tree. And they'll end up getting the kill onto Urgon. They'll look over at Misha. Make it 4. And Immersion, well, he's not involved. And Sunlight's got himself a triple kill. Now sitting at an 11-0-2.
This Morphling is getting absolutely dumpster. Gonna put it bluntly by the Shadow Fiend. Every fight he gets, yours requiemed into low HP or instantly blown up, and then the fear in that time he's able to play with his Mars, getting that spear off, getting the triple raise, and the Morphling is just dying every single time.
So they've gone from a 6,000 net worth deficit to making it even. They've really pulled their way back. Sunlight doing a really good job at that. He's sitting top of the net worth. Bloodseeker, his farm seemed a little bit slower, but I think Thug's okay. He's got himself the Diffusal Blade, 1,600 gold. Working at a good pace. Feeling alright.
Yeah, especially with if an early Diffusal Blade, all these fights here is going to be low, gives you that attack speed, kind of bridges the gap that normally you go Maelstrom for attack speed, and Spartan gonna get picked off.
For him. They've got the Winter's Curse. Bloodright with it. Get a silence, but not many rotations.
But this Diffusal Blade is so key for the Bloodseeker, where if he actually gets into a fight onto the Morphling's mana pool is pretty low, only 700. So if he gets multiple right clicks off, bada bing, bada boom, say that again multiple times, there's your mana gone. Morphling's gonna have an awkward time in these fights. So. Yeah, I'm liking itemization for sure.
Skylark going into that Blink Dagger, not too far away from it. We'll have that blink into the arena, something that initiation-wise has been really good to work with, it feels like, for many teams. So we'll see how the Mars uses this and how they're going to line this up, because it feels like just a quick arena into a spear. You've got yourself pretty much a kill guaranteed.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the good old Mars. Especially when there's no saves in the team as well. It's like once you get that initiation, it's gonna translate into a kill, or at least enough damage to turn the fight in your favor.
Rolling Thunder. Just to really back off, waveform forward. They've got the Cold Embrace. Bloodright coming in. There's the arena, spears up the Kunkka, and now they're looking for the rest of the team fight, as I believe Immersion stole the spear and speared up the Winter Wyvern, but they've got the Requiem coming through. They'll look to get this kill here onto the Morphling. And the stolen Requiem, they do some damage onto the Morph, who just escapes, but finally ends up dead. They'll also take out Urgon, so your 1-2 are already gone. They'll look over at Immersion. I believe the Clockwork Hookshot hit, as they are looking for more. There'll be a shield crash onto the high ground as they lose the Enchantress, and it's a 4-0, and just not getting anything going their way as TeamSpirit. It's not working out.
Yeah, they've hit their timing, man. They're strong. Like this Shadow Fiend, honestly, that pick off on Morphling into then the next team fight getting the Morphling. I think those 2 kills just meant like, all right, cool, Morphling, you're doing nothing. Like he's been sitting on getting Manta for now pretty much like 4 minutes. He now finally completes it, right? But it's like, yeah, this Shadow Fiend's doing work, and I think he's relieved enough pressure from the Bloodseeker that he can play aggressive in these fights with just a Diffusal. He's now already pretty much going to be getting that BKB. So yeah, aggressive mode. I'm looking to see them going across the river, maybe playing for Roshan and trying to really choke out their opponent at this point.
3,000 net worth lead so far, and doesn't seem to be slowing down. They've got some vision here for the Dire, but it feels like it doesn't really matter at the moment, just with the way aggressive mode are playing around the map. They've got the BKB getting delivered to the Bloodseeker, BKB being built here for the Shadow Fiend, and they're going to smoke up, so aggressive fight. If they can probably pressure heavily off this fight if they do get the victory. So they'll look over, they'll find the Kunkka, Raze comes in, Bloodright's there, so they've got the silence, the boat over them. They'll survive for now. Telekinesis out on Velor, but he's got the hook shot into the arena.
Rubik did still spear, so you're gonna got a big stun potential on the Rubik.
Hook shot into the arena, joining his friend Mars. Getting a kill there on Tamisha once again.
Oh, Bloodseeker has the BKB bot, the big stun. Oh, the
Winter's
defensive
curse. And now they look over the Bloodseeker, but he's got the BKB as well as the Essence Ring, so that'll keep him pretty healthy. They've got the Rupture out. They look over as the Morphling doesn't get hit by that spear. He waveforms over. And into the Requiem, but it's not enough damage just yet. Bloodright down once again. He's into the hands of the rest of aggressive mode. They'll get yet another kill on a Dryacho, and he's dead for 50 seconds. No buyback. And another big kill to put them up 4,000 net worth.
And they're running after Nongrado as well. This is just relentless. Oh, he tries to go up the high ground. No.
Now a swashbuckle TP.
Yeah,
oh, the hook shot. Velor making sure that he does not leave. The rest of the team had given up. They weren't even walking up the stairs when he threw that hook shot out and finally landed it.
Yeah, just aggressive mode. I don't want to say it again, but they are truly powering their way through this game. Just they get to their items, be it Blink, Yours, and Shadow Fiend. They get that just an early diffusal. They got the vessel pickup on Skylark, and then the Blink. It's just we are fighting now. We are not stopping. We are gonna go, and they are like. I think they're such a good team for this 20-minute window of fighting you, which against some teams, it falls flat, right? Because they make a bad play, they misposition, and then they lose eventually to a later game draft. But in this game, they've got such a good amount of pressure being applied, and also, key thing is they're killing the Morphling every time. If they didn't kill the Morphling, and he was trickling his way towards an E-Blade, or maybe a BKB, or any of these items, then it'd be like, oh wait, hold up, how do we eventually kill this Morphling? But they're doing such a good job right now of ensuring every fight leads to at least a Morphling kill, or some type of bonus vision or structural damage.
You can see they're putting the pressure on the bottom lane. They've put on some pressure in the jungle, mid. Things are not easy for the side of TeaSpirit. They are trying to find open space to not only farm, but to stay alive. As 25-minute bounty runes come up, and it should be 3 at least for the side of TeaSpirit. Or for the side of aggressive mode, sorry. So let's see what they can get done here. 7,000 net worth ahead. Roche is available if they do want to take that chance at going for the Aegis. They have a lot of control within the pit, so it's not exactly the worst thing, but it's about how quickly they can do it. And I mean, does it look like they've got everything they need to go after Roche, or should they just keep it on the objectives at the moment?
You can see from their positioning right now, they're moving towards top, potentially to try and draw out a fight in the top area. This means that aggressive mode after the fight will be able to move directly into Roshan without much contest. If they are pushing other parts of the map, it would indicate they're looking for maybe a team fight or two just to play for high ground, but simply because of positioning, they are going for Roshan. This is a good location to maybe take the fight and then do Roshan as well. Like anywhere within this central region is pretty much where you want to take a fight, like anywhere here. Alternatively, just go for Roshan if they've already shown to the right hand side. You can now pressure.
So they go for this first Roche. Nobody really coming over. Again, it's so hard to fight into this Roche pit attempt. And, well, it's an easy one there for the side of aggressive mode.
Yep, that's a free Roshan. Off we go. Look. BKB up on Shadow Fiend, Blink Yours, obviously chilling, got an Aegis, he's not going to care. Already level 20, got all that damage. He didn't even go for the aura effects buildings. He's going completely for the, I'm carrying my team with my input, my pick-off potential, and I do not need to enable some Bloodseeker. Like, I'm going to go myself, which is respectable. He's having a good game. And the line has been drawn. But Again, Kunkka does have his BKB pickup as well, but I don't see aggressive mode looking for kills unless they get that clean pick off, be it a hook or a rupture. Other than that, they're going to probably just push in the lanes and try and just do structural damage right now. I think this could be one of the worst moves that they make right now if Clockwork tries to commit deep on this kind of northern front whilst the rest of his team is playing split across the other 2 lanes.
Speaking of Clockwork, how do you feel about his axe and if he's going to pick this up next? Is that the right item for him to get, you think? Because he tries to go into the Rolling Thunder and gets it off.
He's just going to
Oh boy, he is needing to stop that for sure. Otherwise, he would have just been dead. Battery Assault, somebody? Anybody? Come help me.
Oh no.
Is he still?
Everyone
he doesn't have a
ignored
TP, so.
Look, the rest of his team's just trying to kill off an Enchantress on the other side of the map. Oh, they see him, but they're like, well, we can't do anything. Oh, Nongrada, no. This is an absolute
What,
clown
right?
fiesta. Kill him already.
Refusal, there it is. All right.
Thank
there it
you.
is. Oh,
Oh, come on. There we go.
waiting
Oh,
for somebody
Jesus.
to get something. Arena comes in, as does the boat. They've got the X to line it up, but here comes Sunlight with the raises to get the kill there on Amisha. They don't have the boat to work with anymore, but the Winter's Curse will be out onto Immersion. A lot of damage being done onto the Rubik. They won't get the kill just yet. They'll look for the Requiem onto the Morphling. He's feared up. Spirit Vessel on him. Spear hits. He tries to waveform away, but they get the kill there, and he's got buyback, but he's dead for 53 seconds. They'll buyback on the Pangolier as well as this Rubik. BKB running out on the Kunkka, and he'll be forced to back away.
Is under attack.
Crit waves here, turn this into a tier 2 tower. Like, they had to use nothing. That was so Kappa, though, from aggressive mode. Like, chasing this Pangolier for such a long time, Shadow Fiend playing elsewhere, but then you have to ask yourself, how does TSpirit even kill anyone? Like, Morphling does no damage, Enchantress is kind of underwhelming. Kunkka's, like, somewhat control, but no damage because he went for an early BKB. Like, they have so much issues with killing anyone, and then you layer that on top of aggressive mode having their own BKBs, Ghost Scepters. Such a scary game for TSpirit right now.
Yules as well as the Rupture.
Oh.
The
Nice-
Shield
nice
Crash
dodge from
avoiding the spear. Telekinesis
was-
comes
that
in,
was
and
clean.
I've got the Cold Embrace, so that'll keep him alive. Boat coming through. Rolling Thunder is there. I said keep him alive, but for how long is really the question. Hook shot to try and leave. Clockwork now stepping a little bit too far forward, and he ends up dead. So 2 kills here for the side of TSpirit, and a botched high ground attempt, it seems like.
Name a more iconic duo, CIS Dota and Botched High
Radiant's
Grounds.
bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely seemed like, well, they're up 12,000. I don't know. It seemed like the Mars maybe got a little ahead of himself.
But the Shadow Fiend doesn't have that level 15 aura, so their tower damage is very underwhelming, especially when they go for these external kills outside of the base. A couple buybacks come into play, and then you're like, alright, cool, we don't have the big spells to get the kills again, so... Again, aggressive mode don't really care. They're just going to go again, get the same kills again, and then probably hit high ground. Rubik and Pangolier, the ones not having buyback, so playing off that is paramount.
So, Ergon going into the AC. We haven't really... I guess I haven't really talked about the Dire build, but it feels like it's just been a slow build up overall. They're still going for this E-Blade on the Morphling. Has that Manta, picked up the casual Morbid Mask. Ergon into an AC, his BKB is 9 seconds now. Like, it definitely seems like it's super underwhelming at the moment, and they are also behind 12,000. I don't know how it went from 12 to 9 so quickly with strictly just farming.
Opening up the map, getting a couple more creeps here and there. But let's focus more on the what's aggressive mode's next move. You got the BKB pick up on Mars. Velour is already very much in the face of Dire, just kind of going, all right, if you want to go on me, lads, please do. I'm a Clockwork. I got the pipe. And you mentioned earlier about the Ags pickup. It's a very good item overall for I want to get that initiation, reset, go again. And I think especially against Pangoliers and Morphlings, it's like that additional little control that you need to get the kill. But Ergon potentially getting picked off here.
Force in the
Oh.
BKB, Winter's
There we
Curse.
go. Everything in
That's
the
what they
kitchen
needed.
sink thrown at Ergon.
Now they got the cogs and the raises coming in. They'll get this kill on the Ergon easily.
He does have buyback though, and they did use Rupture, and they used Curse, so potentially this could be spooky, but instantly realizing they need to go for other lanes. I don't know why they're trying to chase this Pangolier right now. They should just be pushing in top, but I guess if you maybe get the Yules here, Oh,
find it.
Nongrata, buddy, what's
Oh.
happening?
I thought for a second they wouldn't find it, but now...
This is Clown Fierce round 2. Just
No.
ignore the Pangolier, lads. There's a Kunkka dead, forces buyback. Oh, instead Scarlet. Oh, what a. Oh.
So try to get Chacho out. I mean, he should be fine with the waveform as well as the TP. They'll at least get the kill into immersion.
That was so close to being really bad. If they found the Morphling there as well, it would just be like, no buyback Morphling. Be horrendous.
Definitely feels like they're kind of just playing a little sloppy right now. When all they have to do is just finish the game. Or not all they have to do, but it feels like they could put more pressure on it to, like you said, get the buyback from Kunkka.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under
Take a
attack.
look at the tier 2 over towards top. Sunlight gonna try and get this with the help of Thug. Grab that last
Easy
outer
tower.
tower.
Has fallen.
Bug's got the Abyssal Blade finished off. He really is looking to just jump somebody to have that extra little tick a lockdown ready to go.
But if the important thing is the jump has to be clinical. It needs to be we jump, kill, get out, wait. If they buy back, we respect it. If they jump, kill, then the opponent buys back, and they still continue to fight, there is potential that they might slip up, as we've seen before. Nongrata though getting picked off in the bot lane. This is not what
Spear
you want to
lands.
see. Oh, there we go. No buyback. This is. You have to respect the pick-off potential. You have to hold your high ground, and now a lot of things are
Now
occurring.
Yeah, they've got the boat, but they've got Cogs as well as the battery. So Valor might give up his life, so does Spartan, but they get the kill onto the Morphling. He's got buyback. They'll probably be able to force that out. The Abyssal Blade is used there onto the Kunkka. They'll also have the Arena of Blood, but they're going to back out of this. They don't want to go for it.
There we go. Yep. He can BKB TP as well.
And he's got BKB TP. Damage is almost there.
But they've now got themselves a very clean timing. Morphling used buyback. We just reset. We go again. We kill Morphling. And now you don't have your carry. You don't have your win condition. So aggressive mode will be feeling pretty happy about that.
Dire are
As
scanning.
long as they don't lose anything right here.
Scan, telekinesis. Shadowfiend a little slow to really try to back out of that. It's the stolen Requiem thrown at Sunlight. E-Blade comes in. Now they're going to bring him back with the axe. And look at that damage from Urgon. Sunlight. That's a 10-time spree going their way. Morphling now coming over with the Arctic Burn. He's over these trees, making this very difficult for the side of aggressive mode to find him. And they'll look over for SSA Spartan. They'll get the kill. They'll drop down the sentry, and they grab 2. No buyback there for the Winter Wyvern, as it was used to be in that fight.
And that was the confidence coming from the idea of we can play anywhere on the map and farm anywhere on the map. Like the Shadow Fiend, just if he had the BKB up, he could farm there. He doesn't have the BKB up, he dies. So a little bit of lapse of judgment from aggressive mode, giving TeaSpirit a little bit of fresh air. Is it enough? Potentially, but going straight into a move. Ooh.
Hook shot, Abyssal Blade, Morphling needs to survive this, and the E-Blade, not certain he will,
No
as
buyback,
they
there
finally
it
get
is.
the kill. Yeah, he doesn't have buyback. They'll look over at Immersion. They'll get themselves a second. He doesn't have buyback as well. Misha now with the Spirit Vessel on him. They'll bring back Thug into the boat. Urgon gets another big spree kill. As Rolling Thunder comes in to try and save this Enchantress, it won't. They're without the Shadow Fiend, they're without the Bloodseeker. They'll look over at Velhor, swashbuckle in, Spirit Vessel on him, finally runs out. He'll try to TP away, but the Shield Crash is there to get the kill. Now Skylark just trying to survive.
It's such a janky fight. They're especially taking it with the Shadow Fiend being dead this entire time, having used another BKB. Like, it just isn't that good. Like, you want your Morphling kill to be one where you kill him and then you punish the fact he has no buyback. In this position, TeaSpirit are like, cool. We just killed all of them. We're probably bringing back the net worth a little bit, and now they can actually play it across the map. I think it does change though. As soon as they group up as 5 again on aggressive mode, it kind of aligns itself with the idea of, oh, this Shadow Fiend's scary, especially with him being like 2k away from a Hex. So I think potentially a full sense of security from TeaSpirit with that team fight, but we'll see depending on how they play as soon as Morphling respawns.
Morphling BKB, Kunkka, AC. Now they finally have that Ags on the clockwork with overclocking available. Is that going to be enough, though?
It's
Also,
just a lot
do
of
you-
control.
Yeah, do you like overclock? I feel like... I don't
I
know,
like the
puts you
idea
in
of
a-
it being able to. I understand it gives you a stun, but it's like, as Spartan quickly gets jumped here, will he be fine? He has the beanbag on one, doesn't get it off, gets X'd. Also, why am I doing this? This
Gets
should
it.
do
Yeah,
sorry.
he gets X. The Reno Blood comes out. I was going to let you have it. I was like
Oh,
impressed. So they go for the kill onto the Rubik. Now they look over at Urgon with the BKB being popped. SSA Spartan is taken out, and they were going to go for him quicker, but they had the X pumped back with the Lotus Orb back onto the Kunkka. They'll get the kill on Ungrata, making it 2. They'll buy back on Immersion. And I heard a BKB. It was Skylark's. I believe he might have been X'd, and he didn't want to get caught out. I'm letting you know, if you want a chance at play-by-play, you got it. But Urgon, meanwhile, Requiem comes in. Meanwhile, Hookshot hits onto the Morphling. They look over as the Abyssal Blade hits the Kunkka. They look for both the Kunkka and the Morph, and they will get both of them. E-Blade thrown at this Enchantress. They also get the kill into the Rubik. They don't have buyback on any of these heroes. They'll look over at Misha, and they should be able to finish him off. And with no buybacks on both the Kunkka and the Morph,
Oh, now
this is a free
Roshan.
Rosh, potentially more.
Yeah, Rosh is up. Just slap that. Then of course, these lads would have clearly timed Roshan. 3-minute study 1, no Morphling, which means take this Roshan. We're gonna have about a 2-minute window or 3-minute window where we can go fully aggressive. Maybe abuse the fact that we get that guy to front on a little bit longer, and yeah, this should unlock the high ground that they currently lack.
Just cheese. Up 18,000. Have the Octarine core available now on the Shadow Fiend. And let's see. Can they break the high ground this time? They have buyback available on Urgon.
Yeah, the buyback doesn't mean anything though, because even if he did, it's like, you need, like the time that you want to use buyback is if, let's say, you've already started a fight, be it with the Pango roll or maybe the Rubik. But I feel with the Rubik being dead, it's hard to really value the buyback. Just getting a free rack to accept it, and then I wouldn't be surprised if aggressive mode either go for a second rack or at least fake back into a smoke play. You see the Wyvern with the smoke right now. You're going to see it's a very classic play. Oh, there we go. Just instantly done. Very classic play being made as you take one lane of racks, you smoke and sit outside, and then you just keep yourself ready. I'm an Oracle,
Shot
by the way,
misses.
don't know if you're aware of that.
You are Nostradamus in this one as they do that perfectly. They'll look for the Requiem as now the hookshot comes in again.
Oh,
They'll
there it
kill
is.
off Dreacho. He doesn't have buyback for, well, anything. He's got an 80-second respawn timer on him. They'll look to try and kill Skylark, but the Cold Embrace is keeping him healthy. And now the Splinter Buzz comes through. They've got the Silence on Urgon, as well as the Arena of Blood locking in 3 of these heroes. The Razes come in from Sunlight to get themselves a second. Both these heroes don't have buyback. Nungrata now, he comes in with the Swashbuckle into the arena. Bloodright is down, Urgon is dead, and this is looking like the rest are going to fall, except Morphling disconnects, BMs, and calls GG. So
There
that'll
it
be the
is.
4th. Pango should be the 5th. Spear lands. Can they do it before the Ancient explodes? Yes, they can. Rampage for Sunlight to top it off.
What a splendid game, honestly. You know what? I think let's be clear here. I think TeaSpirit, first game, they won the game. They had a Meepo pick. Meepo was like some boss tier core in that situation. Had a rough game, but overall, it was a good game from TeaSpirit. They could show that they could execute strats that they were practiced and ready for. I think the main thing here though is game 2, game 3, aggressive mode. They kind of changed up their draft a little bit, made sure that they were covering themselves from some of these cheese picks, also making sure their bans had value rather than just throwaway bans, which meant that they got lineups that they were really confident in. 2 games in a row, Clockwork Shadow Fiend, they could play off that tempo. I think Shadow Fiend, honestly, this guy, he's a nutty Shadow Fiend, honestly. After this game, big fan. And yeah, they just kind of played off this momentum, and I think they just showed TeaSpirit's like, you can beat us with some cheese, but when it's raw Dota and you're trying to play strategy, you're not going to beat us. So respect to the Greek lads in this new version of the aggressive mode.
Yeah, they stick to the name, 24-1-10. Very good for Sunlight. They take the series 2-1, granting them 2 points. That moves them up to 4. TeaSpirit are up at 5, but you still have aggressive mode with a good amount of series to go. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more series to go, so definitely an opportunity at 12 more points. which could put them at 16, which would be at best for second. So that's it for this series. The next one coming up is going to be Windstrike against last place Cyber Legacy, who are, I believe, already out. Even if they win these two series 2-0, it puts them at 7 points, so they still have a chance. Just if they drop a game to Windstrike, who are in the top 3, it's looking very ill for them. So we'll be back with that series in just a moment. So hopefully you guys stay right there, and we'll be back soon. Be right back.